Well, greetings and welcome to another episode of Lightbulb Moments. So glad you're with us today. Whether you're joining us live or whether you're listening to the podcast or watching the YouTube, we're super pleased you're with us. Thanks for spending some of your precious attention and time with us today. And I want to give a shout out to a couple of our sponsors, Lightheart Sanders and Zenoti. Thanks to them and the Qnity team. And our whole community for making this forum possible. We're well over 200 episodes, but rarely do we have an episode where we make an announcement like we are going to make today. And so today we will be talking about a very unique collaboration. And with me today, I actually have a guest that I will get to in a moment. But prior to that, I want to have joined me for this announcement, Stacey Soble, who I am going to introduce in a moment here. Stacey actually had a conflict, so we actually recorded this last night. So without any further ado, I'm going to share with you the announcement, and I'm going to pull up a video that will take us through. So here we go, folks. I want to give you a big expectation, and there is a big expectation because today we have a big announcement. And this is something that's an announcement for the professional beauty industry. And with me today is Stacey Soble, Editorial Director of Salon Today and curator of the Data Driven Salon Summit and Salon 200 Awards. Hello, Stacey. You've had a lot of travel lately. We got you pinned down.
You did. You did, right in between trips.
Well, listen, we both have been working on this for, 6 months, but probably goes back before that. So anyway, let me sort of just let the cat out of the bag here. And we're super pleased to announce a collaboration and co-location with Data Driven Salon and Salon 200 alongside the Qnity Phil and Lightbulb Moments. So I so love this.
I brought my favorite little light bulb, which has a heart in it. So
I love it. Well, it's super exciting because, I have so much respect for Data Driven and Salon 200 and so much respect for you. And, what's really cool about this is both of us, amongst the different hats that we wear within our organizations, we're both can be described as the curator of these events.
yes.
So here we're co-curating. You're curating the event that is so special and important to the industry. And I do that, of course, with a very talented team. So by points of clarity about this, these are still two independent events, and each of them with their own identity. But again, just tremendous synergy. So Stacey, give us your thoughts about this.
Well, number one, you and I have been collaborating for probably, would you say, 20 years on different things. We've done features about you in Salon Today. You wrote a column in Salon Today for a while. I've been guests on this show before and we've done some other things. So I think we've always seen opportunities for synergy between our two audiences, and we both have the same goals of elevating the salon industry by helping owners create better businesses. And I think that we just saw an opportunity. Number one, you and I talk every year to try to make sure that we don't have the same dates. We don't want to compete with one another because we know that our audiences have a lot of similarities and a lot of differences. But we just kind of, and we were looking at Austin for this year. So we also just recognized the opportunity that, hey, maybe we could do these things as adjacent events and take advantage of the same hotel and make it easier for everybody that's traveling and be respectful of their time.
Yeah, this whole idea of one trip, 1 week, one city. And it's super exciting. And, so you've done Data Driven for many years. I want you to unpack that just in a moment here. But, it worked out that for your event, because the Salon 200 is attached to it, you really pretty much have to do it around that time of year. And
Right.
so it gives you a limited window of dates. And in spite of how hard we have tried, we still kind of keep butting up against these dates. And because for us, we decided we want to anchor in the same date every year, so that everybody knew, not just this year, but next year, but in the future, what date our conference is. Now, the other thing, just a little commentary here, just a point of view of mine, is there are a lot of great conferences and industry events.
Mhm.
And
And you and
there
I attend a lot of them
we
together.
attend a lot. Yeah. And but let's be frank here, it's gotten very crowded.
Mhm.
It's gotten there's more and more, there's not less. And so I love this idea in terms of sort of for the benefit of the industry, to take away choices for people, and give people an option so they don't have to choose between these two events. So I admire what other organizations have done to collaborate together. So it's really in that spirit.
And, people still have that choice. They will be separate tickets. I think we're gonna try to come up with a combined ticket for,
Yeah.
a bonus, but, if somebody just wants to attend Data Driven or just wants to attend the Phil, they can do that. But this is just creating that opportunity that if they do wanna attend both events, that they're conveniently located together.
All right, so let me unpack the Phil. I'll have you speak to the Phil in a little bit, but I'll just kind of give people an introduction. So next year will be the 5th year, and the idea behind the Phil was the word is twofold. Um, Fill your bucket, get away from your business and fill your bucket with community and collaboration and data and insights and inspiration. But then also fill the gaps in your business. This is a conference that head on attacks topics and fill in the gap in terms of profitability, revenue growth, execution, succession planning, whatever. And it's really for salon spas, med spas, and schools, essentially our whole community. And then, with great pride, why don't you describe Data Driven and 200?
Yeah, Data Driven, this will be our 9th year. We created that conference with 5 key metrics in mind, which were uh, client retention, client count, uh, retail, productivity, and I'm missing one. But we've kind of expanded that over the years because we do ask an essay question in the Salon Data 200, which is, what are your biggest pain points right now? And we tell people up front, we're not judging on that. We simply want to know, because that helps us direct the content for Salon Today, but it also helps us curate the speakers and the topics that we want to cover at each Data Driven. And they do change over the years. Recruiting talent has been big for the last several years, but now recruiting clients seems to be edging up and just as important. So, but every one of the sessions does have a data component. We each ask each speaker to bring data, and we rely heavily on a lot of data studies. So coming to the Phil, I obviously had a lot of respect for the independent research that you all do and how rich that was. And I also loved the university professors, because that's one thing that we don't do. We don't bring a lot of outside speakers. Our speakers tend to be industry experts and a lot of leading salon owners that we identify that are leading the edge in certain areas.
Yeah, and then with Data Driven, I love that Data Driven gives a voice to important industry, sponsors and owners and other industry experts. I also really enjoy the community. And when I've come, the years that I've come, I mean, we each have a pretty loyal community here, and it's really fun. And it's a little bit of overlap, but so I love that. I also love that, it's a pretty rich expo, so there's a lot of, for those that are vetting solutions. And so really, really a lot of just great things about what you guys have all created. So,
Thank you. Thank you.
so let's see here. I think we've talked about, let's talk about what attendees can expect. Okay. And why don't you go first?
Well, Salon Today, we do a pretty aggressive schedule where we basically go on half-hour rotations. We try to do a mix of panels with usually leading salon owners on them, discussing best practices, and then independent speakers. That again, we're pulling topics out of what those pain points are and trying to address those with people we think that are leading the way on these on some solutions for these pain points. And then we combine that with kind of a gala celebration for the Salon Today 200, and we're in our 24th year this year. And that is a leading business competition that celebrates and recognizes business owners from salons, spas, barbershops, and med spas. So
Yeah, nice. So what people can expect at the Phil, and in it, well, I'll actually talk how it kicks off. So it'll kick off on Monday night after the closing of Data Driven on Monday afternoon, and we will have our 5th annual celebration of Lightbulb Moments, which is, it definitely is a celebration. It is a bit of a gala. We bring a lot of black and white photography and just do some cool things each and every year. And also important to note that there's also a give back element to it. We support different organizations that impact the industry and impact the broader community. That's Monday night. And then Tuesday is a full day. At the very beginning of the morning, we'll start out with some keynote speaker that's going to be from outside the industry, somehow associated with the Austin community and most likely with University of Austin or University of Texas at Austin. And then we move into some very, just some great workshop breakouts, which are led by at least 60%, at least 2/3 of them will be offered by those that are from the University of Texas or greater Austin community from outside the industry, really laying in on very activities that are rich. They're not lectures, and people really love those workshops. And then on Tuesday night, I'm frankly not sure what we're doing. And then on Wednesday, we'll move into something that we borrow from the 2 to 10 conference, which is roundtables that will be broken up by multi-location and single location with the gritty conversations that really bring life to bring life to the community. So, and I just was pinged to remind me, I got tripped up there. I forgot to say that we actually have a group for schools too. So it'll be broken up by different communities and have the gritty conversations, and there's different methodologies we use for very proactive peer-driven roundtables. And then we're also going to be doing some local salon tours and spa tours too. So it is going to be a rich week, kicked off by you and your team. Great team you guys have. We love all you guys. And then we'll bring it to the finish line. Sound good?
sounds great. And I do want to clarify that this is a combination with our Data Driven Salon Summit, because we do have a Data Driven Salon Tour event, which is in November. So this is the one in the spring, the bigger 2-day event.
Awesome. Well, to me, I think that it's a shared vision. It's making this accessible. I really love this one trip, 1 week, one city. And so really, and I think what you have themed it and some of the collateral going out will be Salon Week in Austin. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We're calling
All
it
right. Well, it'll be a week of connection, growth, and recognition. And bravo, Stacey. We've been working on this a long time, and I'm finally glad to let the cat out of the bag.
Yeah, congratulations. Exciting.
For both of us.
Yeah.
And then shout out to the teams and, Colin, the owner, and Angela, and, your great event team, and also to the Qnity team, Michelle and JP and Shannon and all that, and Aaron. So anyway, well, that'll be a wrap, folks. And thanks again for tuning into this. And we'll see you in Austin for Salon Week. All right, folks. Well, there you go. There's the announcement. And so bravo, right, Angela? So now what I'd like to do is we do have a special live guest with us today, Angela Reich, and she is the Beauty, Health, and Wellness Group, a publisher for Bobbitt Business Media. Angela, good morning. How are you?
Hi, Tom. How are you? How
Well,
are
you've been a
you?
big part of this too. I mean, this has been our life for about the last 6 months, figuring this
It
thing out.
has, it has. It's super exciting. You have a loyal network, and so do we. And we have mutual partners, and we have also had a number of salon spa owners that have even tapped into us to say, tell us more about, what Tom and Erin and team have going on with Qnity, 2 to 10, the Phil over the years. And as Stacey mentioned, you've been a tremendous contributor over the years in many ways. So this is really, really fun. I'm really looking forward to it because I haven't attended one of your Phils. I'm glad that Stacey has in past. And we just thought it would be a great program, to sort of kick off this salon week for Austin. Austin brings tremendous energy. We're big fans of Austin and the relationship you have, research relationship with university and all of that. I think it's just could be a lot of great, rich content, experience, and connections.
Yeah, and it's as I mentioned during my time with Stacey, it's there's a lot of choices today for events, and people having to choose the last few years come to Data Driven or the Phil, and and to give people the option to attend both or to be in the same city, attend part of it. Maybe some people come for just light bulb moments, but they go to Data Driven or go to 200. There's all sorts of different
Yeah,
combinations. People can develop their own track.
yeah.
Um, I think we said a lot. Anything else you want to add to the
No,
conversation?
I think Stacey and team, as they're building out the curriculum, I think there is a segment that your team is going to collaborate with us on for Monday afternoon. So super excited about that, to have you involved there. Recently, Colin, our, kind of our head over here with Baba Business Media, asked all of us a little bit of a challenge, but just said, when you think of media, what's the word that pops into your mind? And, what does it mean to you? And I've always said connections. I love that word. Everyone's sort of, jumping into that word in collaboration, the C's all day. But I've always believed in connections. And, while, I met you and Erin a few years ago, it feels like in the last year, I mentioned to you multiple times. I sat in a Qnity session at Moroccan Oils Collective a couple of years ago, and I was just like so intrigued. So I'm really excited to have the connection with your group. I think there is many opportunities. We bring together our salon spa owner and manager community. We bring together the very best of technology partners, manufacturers, those that live and breathe it every day. We collaborate with, coaches, consultants, business resources like yourselves. And I think it's a great way for us all to come together. Together, we're pretty powerful. And, it's a way to give back to our communities and our networks, just being, overused word collaborative, but I think it really means something. So I'm excited. I'm really excited. Now I need to think about, well, I want to still, kind of be in the moment and present for this calendar year, but I'm super excited about being in Austin in the spring with you guys.
Well, as long as I got you here, and
Yeah,
you have been in the industry a long time, so we'll
a
do.
bit. Yeah.
Maybe we'll spend a few minutes getting to know Angela a little bit, because you're my guest on Lightbulb Moments, and we usually have conversations beyond the announcement. So let's just spend
Hmm.
a few more minutes. So
That's
tell us
great.
tell us about your career trajectory.
Yeah, it's been really fun. Never thought I'd be in professional beauty, but I've been in media. I've been in media, and I've worked with brand partners and helping them digitize and bring, their messaging and marketing to market. So, really primarily in the tech space. I would say tech. Um, Primarily. I spent, I don't know, nearly 10 years with the Washington Post company. And at the time was in division Post Newsweek. And we were taking everything and digitizing it. So like Newsweek, which everyone knew as, Newsweek, we brought that digital. And I worked very closely with a number of government IT titles that still exist. And then from there, I was at business.com. I learned the whole world of search. And I've been able to apply that to a lot of our partner programs here. You know, to be considered, you have to be found. So I just believe in very rich content, you know, media. I live it and breathe it. And you know, it is getting better. I get to be in professional beauty. I get to work with emerging trends, you know, looking at what the consumers are digesting. And I get to still play on the tech side, which is really cool. Very much so. So that's sort of me. You know, I'm a mom. I'm a working mom. You know, so that's why I can appreciate Erin and what she's jumping into. That's it. And I have the best team. They're just great, and still have a lot of relationships with folks that have been part of Modern in years past. It's very cool.
So how long have you actually been in the beauty industry then?
Well, I've been with these titles starting back with Vance Publishing. So I think this is year 16. So
Okay. Yeah.
I don't even know how that happened. No idea. No idea. I had a couple of itches. I definitely did. You know, the tech space, I kept on, but I don't know. I just work in the best industry. And I love that those in my community are like, wow, you do cool things. I'm like, yeah, I work with really smart, cool people. And I learn a lot from our, you know, what's the right word? Users, subscribers, community. I learn so much. I mean, they're like the very best, you know,
Nice.
very best business professionals, best practices. And if our content and curriculum and what we do and bringing people together, if that can just help elevate and grow and inspire others, I think that's pretty cool. So
Yeah, that's
that's kind
awesome.
of it. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Well, everybody, let's give Angela a virtual round of applause.
Oh, thanks, Tom.
Put a little love in the chat, and then you may not know this, but this now entitles you to be get the $1 million light bulb. So
I'm
uh,
excited. I'm excited. I have the pen you gave me. You gave me a pen. I know Stacey already has a light bulb, so I'm really excited. I think it's an honor, and you guys are good people, good friends. You've got a great team, and yeah, I think some good things are going to come together. I'm excited.
all right. Well, a very exciting day today. Angela, thanks for joining us today. And
Yeah,
of
thanks.
course, how wonderful it was to be able to spend time with Stacey yesterday and to be able to bring this to the industry. So thanks again, everybody. And we will continue to move forward. I do believe that we are opening up registration for Phil as we speak. And we are just looking forward to seeing you all in Austin, but hopefully a lot sooner than that. So thanks again for joining us today. And thanks to Angela and thanks to our
Yeah.
team. And what an exciting announcement. We'll talk soon.